Hey guys, hope you guys are doing good. I just wanted to talk about the eclipse that's coming up in a few days, and I think most people know it as the Pi Day Blood Moon eclipse, but I feel like it's getting a little bit overlooked that it's a blood worm moon. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, the worm moon. You'll see a lot of articles talking about it. Worm moon becomes spooky. March is full blood worm moon. Worm moon. So I don't think they're like super rare, but I think the fact that it's coming up with this eclipse is I think that's what makes it really interesting, and the dates are gonna be relevant too. So you see March 13th, March 14th. So it's the sources are emphasizing both of the days, the 13th and the 14th. So this is going to be centered around Revelation 8:11. Okay, the name of the star is called Wormwood. Third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. So real quick, I just wanted to direct you guys to 7-1's channel, because his channel, at least back in the day, like his older videos were all about the Wormwood event, Revelation 8:11, which I just showed you. I learned all this from him, and this was like the first the first thing that I really studied when I was just getting into this type of truth and gematria and all that. So yeah, his channel was a gateway for me to get to where I'm at right now. And if you want to learn more about Revelation 8:11 and Wormwood, definitely go check out his older videos. As of lately, he's been going in a little bit of a different direction. But his stuff is still interesting. So his whole channel is good. But I'm just saying, like, his older videos are based on this Wormwood nuclear event, and the reason why, the way that this connects to nuclear, which this is what I learned from him, is that Wormwood is Ukrainian for, or sorry, Chernobyl, like, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Chernobyl is Ukrainian word for wormwood. And it's recorded that there's a lot of people making the connection to Revelation 8:11 and the Chernobyl nuclear disaster back when it happened. There's even a monument with the angel. I guess I can show you that real quick. So yeah, this is the monument at the Chernobyl site, and it's literally depicting Revelation 8:11. Yeah, so a lonely angel stands at the entrance to Chernobyl's Wormwood Star Memorial. So it's that connection is there with nuclear and Revelation 8:11. So moving on, as you can see here, Wormwood equals 1314 in standard. So that's interesting because, like I showed you, yeah, it even shows here. All the articles are emphasizing it's not just the 14th, it's the 13th and the 14th. So 1314. Yeah, like you can see, like I just showed you here, Wormwood 1314. And now I'm gonna be talking a lot about Cody's recent videos that he's been doing. I brought up this, the 1314 and the Wormwood stuff before he made this unbelievable connection here with the death of King James and the birth of LeBron James, who's referred to as King James. And he found that they were born, or the span from his death to his birth is 131400 days. I think he was more focused on the pi number, the 314, but it was just perfect because, like, I think the day before, or maybe a few days before, I was telling him about how it's the 13th and the 14th, the eclipse, and Wormwood is 1314 and it's a worm. moon, like how I just mentioned. So what he found here totally applies to the blood moon. So I think that this just is just more confirmation that there's something to this Wormwood narrative, I guess you can call it. Okay, so now this is his channel, and then I want to bring up these two videos, especially this one. So it has to do with the death of Michelle Trachtenberg, and in this video, he found undeniably how her death is connected to the eclipse coming up. Like, it's undeniable. You should go watch this video. But I found some her kind of with her death. It was just a movie that she was in. She was in the movie Euro Trip. But the day was so connected to Wormwood and Revelation 8:11. So before I get into this, I'm going to review something that I learned from 7.1 way back in the day. This code right here, this 3313 code, and what this is it's really tied to the Great Pyramid of Giza, because these three verses right here: Revelation 6:12, Revelation 8:11, Revelation 9:11, with the emphasis of 8:11 in the middle. All right, so when you add those three verses, and just to review what the verses are, Revelation 6:12 is about the great earthquake, and we just looked at Revelation 8:11 being about the Wormwood, like, nuclear connection there, and then Revelation 9:11 is Apollyon the Destroyer. I think you guys, the bottomless pit, right? So when you add those three numbers together, it's 2,334, which matches the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza each side, which is 230.34 meters. And what this 3313 is from 612 to 811. That's 33 verses away, and 811 to 911 is 13 verses away. So like I said, if you want to know more about this, he 7.1 has totally nailed this code. He found so many things that have been connected to this, and yeah, if you want to learn more, I really recommend going to his channel, in his older videos. So now that you know that, the 3313 now, let's review this. Michelle Trachtenberg, like I said, she was in the movie Euro Trip, and this famous scene, they're drinking absinthe and they hallucinate. This is the scene I remember the most. And absinthe is Wormwood. You can see here, absinthe, grand, Wormwood, right? And so her death, on 226, it was exactly 466 months after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, and the 466 prime number is 3313. So I think I wrote that down. Yeah, so this is the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, 426 1986 to the day that she died, exactly 466 months, and the 466 prime number is 3313. So that's one thing that I found. And then with her, the day 226, so the second prime, and the 6th prime is 3, 3, and 13. So another connection there. And then I found out that this same day, that, this day was super connected. It was insane. But yeah, so the same day, and then going forward to, okay, let me talk about this real fast. 1377. So the ordinal value of the whole verse, so this is the whole verse, Revelation 8:11, and the ordinal value is 1377. And 7.1 has talked about this a lot as well on his channel. So when you look at this as the date 1377, like January 3rd, 1377, but in the future. From her death to 1377 it's a span of 622 months and 9 days, like 6229, and that is the 811th prime number. So yeah, so her death to 1377, span of 622 months and 9 days, and that is the 811th prime. And then I found out after I had made this post that there was another really solid connection with the same day. Where's it at? Right here. Okay, so from her death. Okay, so what this is, so this is Lunation 1377, the start of Lunation 1377. Okay, is April 18th, 2034. That's the start of Lunation 1377. So from her death to the start of Lunation 1377 is exactly 477 weeks. And what that is, I screenshotted this from 7-1's channel because he's talked about 477 minutes into the day is 33.13% of a day. So I think yeah, right here, 477 minutes is 33.13% of a day, just like this 3313 code. So it's really insane that she died 477 weeks exactly after, before the start of Lunation 1377. Again, 1377 is the ordinal value of the whole verse of Revelation 8:11, and on top of all the all that other stuff. So just that this one day, February 26, 2025, the day she died, had all these Wormwood connections. Okay, and like I mentioned, Cody undeniably found the connection to her death and the eclipse, the Pi Day blood moon eclipse, but it is known as the blood worm moon. And then you see here too, March, see right here, March 13 and 14. So the 13-14 is super emphasized. And just to show you again, Wormwood is 13-14. Hopefully I'm getting my point across. And so the 13th, this is the day that it is going to start, that the eclipse is going to start on the 13th. So if you go from the start of the eclipse to the first day of Lunation 1377, it's 3324 days. And this is insane because the 3324th prime number is 30,839. And the reason why that is insane is because Revelation 8:11 is the 30,839th verse of the Bible. So this eclipse is super connected to Wormwood. Like, I don't know why, I don't know how it's gonna play out. I don't know if anything even will play out on that day. Maybe it's just like the starting point for something in the future, but like this eclipse has so many connections to Wormwood and the Bible, which is like, I think that's what makes it so fascinating. So to show you one more time, the first day that the eclipse starts to the start of Lunation 1377, because remember, Revelation 8:11 equals 1377 in ordinal. and Lunation 1377 starts on April 18th, 2034. So it is 3324 days a span, and the 3324th prime is 30,839, and Revelation 8:11 is the 30,839th verse of the whole Bible. Okay, so before I get into that, I think there's something else I wanted to show. Okay, so look at this number and then look at how I converted it into this date here, which is March 8th, 39 of the future. Well, that's the date I'm going to be using. So this is that. Hopefully you can see that. And when you go from, where was it? Okay, so from the start of Lunation 1377 to that date, this is 3/8/39. Like, this is 30,839. Revelation 8:11 is 30,839 verse of the whole Bible. So it's exactly 255 weeks. And I know we've talked, if you've seen my channel, you know, I talked about the 255 in my last video with the roses and all that stuff, and now, like, 7-1's talked about 255, Casey Jones, Cody, Derek. So pretty important number. But I learned today, like, I didn't know this until today, but you know, we're talking about nuclear, right? Chernobyl, nuclear disaster. So it's interesting that nuke equals 255 in Latin. Like, I've been finding a lot of really interesting connections with this number and Revelation 8:11 and nuclear, and I think this might be one of the really important keys to this connection I've been looking into. But another thing about this is the 255. This connects to the Fukushima nuclear disaster, because Fukushima, I'll look it up real quick. It was March 11, 2011, right here. So 3/11/11, and 3/11/11 is the second, fifth, and fifth primes, right? Just like 255. So I thought that was really interesting. But focusing on this number again, the 30,839. This was one of the craziest synchronicities like ever, because let me just show you this real quick and then I'll explain. So this was something that I was thinking about, because I was thinking about how Revelation 8:11 is the 30,839 verses of the Bible, and then the ordinal value is 1377. So I was just curious to know what those three numbers were added up, and it's 33,027. Okay, so I thought of that like a few days ago, and I didn't. Well, I found some other stuff on it, but maybe I'll share it another time. But the day after I thought about this equation right here, and I came up with this number, and I just kind of didn't think too much of it at the time, but just keep this in mind for now. Okay, 33027. So going back to Cody's videos, when he made the video about the connection to Pennywise in the movie It and the Blood Moon, which again, he killed it with this connection here. Like, it's so undeniable. Just watch the video if you haven't seen it. But he's been really heavy on the 314 with pi, and then he talked about this number here, 1392. That's all you really need to just know, that he had talked about this number. And again, he posted this the day after I thought of this equation here. Whoops. Okay, so, but I didn't tell anyone about it. It was just, this was my own personal work. And then yeah, so think about the numbers that caught my attention were the 314 and the 1392. So here I was just really curious, 314, 314, 1392, like the year. And I was wondering what the time span was going to be from this date, 314, 1392, to the eclipse that we've been talking about, mainly him. But so you have it here. Okay, so wait a minute, no, that's the wrong one. All right, so 314, 1392. I had to use this website for this duration because they take the Julian conversion into account for this, and I think it's super relevant because of what I'm about to share. So 314, 1392, like I just showed you, to the first day of the worm moon eclipse. See, 13. It is exactly 33027 weeks. Exactly. Oh, come on. Exactly 33027 weeks without any extra days. And again, this is the, taking the Julian calendar into account, but that's the exact number. That is 30,839 plus 1377 plus 811. And I never put those numbers together until the day before, and then the next day he posts that video, and I don't think he's ever talked about 1392 before, but the reason why that is so important is because of how solid this video is. Like this 1392, like if you really look into what this connection is that he made, it's so solid regarding this blood moon eclipse. So the 314 and the 1392, like those numbers, like having to do with just what I just showed you, like it's I can't put it into words, I can't put it into words. Like there's just something to this Wormwood, Revelation 8:11, all this with the eclipse coming up. Like there's been so many things, and it's because of the connections that other people have made, which is why I was able to see this stuff. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I have. But yeah, I guess just not gonna go over the whole thing again, but Revelation 8:11, learned this from 7:1. The Wormwood star this connects to nuclear because Wormwood or Chernobyl is the nuclear. Oh my god, I can't talk. It's late. I'm sorry. Chernobyl is the Ukrainian word for wormwood. And Wormwood is 1314. This worm moon that all of the articles are referring to it, blood worm moon. You see March 13, March 14, 1314. You see up here March 1314. So the 1314 is super relevant. It's not like, I know a lot of people are just focusing on the 314, but it's this 1314 thing, like for sure. Yeah, that's all. I'll stop there because I just suck at talking. I suck at presenting. The stuff that I find is just, it's too profound for me to even articulate it. So I apologize that I have such a limited vocabulary, and I don't even I don't even know how I'm able to figure out what I'm able to figure out, because I'm really not smart at all. Hopefully that's just a sign that, you know, God really is just putting. He just gave me a really unique gift. He didn't give me a gift for speaking, but he gave me this like numerical gift, and I'm so thankful for the channels like 7-1 and Cody and all the other channels that have contributed to the things that I've been able to find. Yeah. So last thing I want to share, which is really interesting, is Chernobyl disaster, like the way that it's shown here, right? Chernobyl disaster. It equals 1691, and as you can see, this is so symbolic, because this is the Masonic arch, like the pillars with the 69 as the capstone in the middle. It's this. It's like so solid. You know, the capstone with the pillars, and then the capstone, the 69 in the middle. That's totally what this is. Okay, it's like, oops, I ruined the surprise, but yeah, it's totally what this is. It's like perfect. Like that is the pillars and the 69 in the middle. And so remember, I showed you that Revelation 8:11 is the 30,839th verse of the Bible, and that is the 3,324th prime number. So we're gonna look at this as the date 3/3/24, March 3rd, 24. So on that day, I was 1691 weeks exactly, or span. So 3324 was exactly a span of 1691 weeks after my birth. This is when I was born. And yeah, Chernobyl disaster is 1691, and again, this with 100% certainty is symbolic for this. The 69 in the middle and the pillars. That's just so spot on right there. And I'm gonna end it right there. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.